like a second mum and dad to Louise. If me and Louise are half as good as you are at being a mum and dad, we will be in for a great life. We love you both loads, and thank you again. Now, before I hand you over to my best man, I'd like to wish Lucy and Matt good luck on their wedding in December. To Ash and Millie next August. And to Scott and Zoe in the same month as well. My advice to the lads, put Vaseline on the neck, as the ball and chain rubs a lot on your neck, so you get used to it. Just a few notes before Pricey's speech. Number 1, he mumbles a lot, so listen very carefully. Number 2, please don't stare at his one eyebrow. And number 3, he's the least funniest person I know, so I hope you've all got your fake laughs ready. And one more speech, then it's party time. Cheers.
Such a tough act to follow after these three guys. But yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name's Matt. Can I get you a drink? And I'll be at the bar if you want to speak to me later on. But seriously, though, right, I'd like to start laying down a few rules to start off with. Firstly, if you do have a mobile phone, please keep it on and entertain yourselves. And if you do have any funny jokes, please send them on to me, because I think we might need them. Secondly, if you can't hear me at the back through my mumblings, the silence and the people at the front should reassure you that nothing funny is taking place. And especially one for Lou, don't worry about the speech. It'll be over very quickly. A lot of it will be very disappointing, which I imagine you're quite used to having Steve around. But anyway, enough with the bad jokes. Let's get on with the festivities. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for making the 2-mile journey to get here. Much appreciated. And especially to Aquacars for providing the transport. Thank you very much. And on behalf of the beautiful bridesmaids, Zoe, Steph, Hannah and Tira, it's my pleasant duty to thank them for Stephen's kind words during his speech. And they obviously all looked elegant and exquisite today. And of course, they were only eclipsed by our sensational bride, Louise, who of course always looks jaw-dropping, and she is a really beautiful bride. So if we have a round of applause for Louise and the bridesmaids. Okay, so I've known Steve for about 10 years now, and I really got to know him through 2 weeks we spent together on a family holiday in Spain. And it was such a great honour to be asked to be Steve's best man. He's got a great circle of friends and family around him, so to be chosen was a real privilege. Having said that, looking around the room today, I can't think of anyone more charismatic, funny, intelligent that he could have chosen, so good choice, Steve. And over the years we've been friends, we've been on plenty of holidays, weekends away, gigs and nights out. And it's even got to the stage where Louise jokes that there's 3 people in the relationship. And as long as I've known Steve, Louise has always been around, which is a testament to how long they've known each other. And there's a great story. I'll always remember their first date, which was at the Odeon Cinema in North End. That's no longer there, of course. So, having spotted Louise during a shift at Argos, he plucked up the courage to ask for her number and arranged to meet her at the cinema. Louise, the unsuspecting soul, didn't have a clue what she was in for. She turns up, meets Stevie outside, and they walk through to the ticket booth to buy a ticket. Stephen knows the guy at the ticket booth, so the tight toe rag bunks in, doesn't buy her a ticket. So they're through without paying for their tickets. They walk through to the pick-a-mix stand. He then offers his date to buy some sweets for the show. She obligingly fills up, and then Stephen turns to her and says, "Right, you ready to run?" So they do a runner without paying. So theft on the first date. And it gets better. So Stephen then spent the next 90 minutes trying to make a move on his lovely date. Rumour has it that he tried to give her his digits. Bearing in mind, this was before the era of mobile phones. Anyway, besides the awful jokes, this is a story that encompasses many of his traits. He is one of the nicest and genuine people you'll ever meet. He's a friend of everyone, and he'll do anything he can to help you out. He's always the first one to crack a joke, appropriate or not, he'll say it. And if you've had a tough day, he's that guy who'll pick you up. So on a personal note, I'd just like to thank him for all the support he's given me since I've known him. So, as tradition dictates, I shall now offer you some advice. Stephen, never be complacent during your marriage. Always keep an eye out for those little telltale signs to make sure that everything's okay. Those little signs, like if the milkman's wearing your socks. And Louise, always remember, men are like fine wine. They start out like grapes, and it is your job to stamp on them in the dark until they mature into something that you'd like to have dinner with. But seriously, as a married man, you're going to get things wrong, and you won't know why, and it'll put a whole set of rules that you just don't understand. But my advice to you would be not try to understand them, but just do your best for Lou every day that you can. To forgive and to forget, and just keep ensuring your marriage is full of laughter, fun and adventure, and I'm sure the rest will look after itself. You've been together for a decade now, 10 years. You've seen each other's good sides and bad sides. I'd say you've been through thick and thin, but that would be an understatement. And you've grown up in an era where society has changed, but you've stayed true to each other and grown an inseparable bond. I think you should be really proud of this. When you spend any time in the company of Steve and Lou, you'll instantly know that they are so perfect for each other. And for me, the biggest similarity between the pair of them is the fact that they're both stark raving mad. In the best possible way, full of fun, smiles, and lots of jokes. And personally, I've always been sceptical of the term, the one. And there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. How can there just be the one? But from the bottom of my heart, I do believe the pair of these guys are so well suited for each other. And I'm sure everyone here today will agree. Stephen, you're very lucky to have Louise as your wife, and you both have many happy years ahead of you. So, I will now leave you with a quote from a 19th century English novelist, which I thought was perfectly fitting for Steve and Louise. Marriage is not about finding a person you can live with, it's about finding a person you can't live without. And today, my best friend has found that person. And it now gives me immense pleasure to invite you all to stand, which you already are, and raise your glasses in a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Tucker. We wish you all the best for the future, and hope you have a long and happy marriage.